masks for men, women, and children.
Coming up on Coyote News, Vermilion's McDonald's has been working on renovations over the summer.
Also, while a campus sorority is getting rebuilt, we'll see the temporary housing. Coyote News starts right now.
Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, this is Coyote News.
Hello, I'm Cassidy Cornell.
And I'm Nathan Finster. We'll get to those stories and more, but first...
President Donald Trump says a military strike isn't his first option for dealing with North Korea, but he didn't rule it out. Trump discussed the issue for 45 minutes today with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Trump spoke to reporters on the White House lawn before boarding a helicopter on his way to North Dakota. A woman in East Texas led police officers on a car chase that reached over 100 miles an hour, and she was driving the police car. Tasha Sponslering was being detained for shoplifting in the back of a police SUV. She managed to escape from her handcuffs, squeeze through the partition, and climb into the front seat to take off. The chase went on for about 20 minutes until Sponslering hit a tree. Officers broke the driver's side of the window and took her into custody. She remains jailed on multiple charges. A tiger that was spotted in a Georgia neighborhood today was shot. The tiger was seen jumping a residence fence after 6 this morning. Police say they chose to shoot because they didn't have tranquilizer guns and didn't want to wait until guns arrived. It is unclear where the tiger came from, and a nearby animal sanctuary says all of their tigers are accounted for. And those are your headlines. And now let's take a look at weather with Devin Martin. Devin?
Thanks, Cassidy. We've been getting some fall weather the last couple days, but it won't last. The temperature tonight will drop down to 44 degrees with some north-northwest winds. Tomorrow will be partly cloudy with a high near 79 and a nightly low around 50. Friday will bring some sun with a high getting up to 81 and a low of 56, but there's a small chance of rain. For your weekend, we'll see highs in the lower 80s with some wind from the south and 20% chance of rain. Now may be the last chance to get outside and enjoy some of the summer temperatures. And also, the Vermilion Plain Chalk reports that a 3,000-mile migration of monarchs is currently taking place across North America. You may have noticed these monarchs on campus, and that's because monarchs rely on milkweed for feeding and reproduction. So if you see these insects, be sure to say hi. And that's your Coyote weather.
Thanks, Devin. Texas is cleaning up after Hurricane Harvey hit last week. USD alum and former Coyote News anchor Kathleen Suri is a reporter in Killeen, Texas. She's joining us live via video chat to talk about her experiences with the storm. Hi, Kathleen. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So could you describe for us what it's been like for you and the city of Killeen since Harvey made landfall?
So Killeen is actually about 2.5 to 3 hours away from the coast, from the Houston area. So we haven't necessarily seen any of the direct weather impacts, but what we have seen is about over 400 evacuees coming to our county from the coast, staying at shelters. So I've definitely seen a lot of people who have shown up with basically nothing more than the clothes on their backs, and it's been really devastating for a lot of people who have had to just pick up and leave everything that they've ever known.
And now, with all those evacuees in the city, can you tell us what some of the challenges have been for them and since they've come?
So like I said, some of the challenges for them have been, basically having nothing. Some of them did show up with their pets. Some of them showed up with, a few personal possessions, but basically they have no idea what their homes are going to be like when they get back. Many of them have already lost their homes, have already lost their cars. So there's just a really big sense of uncertainty for all of them. Another big issue for the ones that have children is what to do with them now that school has started. They certainly can't go back to their homes and enroll them in the schools that they were going to be in, most of them anyway. So a lot of them having to enroll their kids here in schools in Bell County. So that's definitely been, another one of those challenges as well, along with basically having nothing to their name at this point.
And now, is the city doing anything specifically to help the evacuees?
Some of them have been actually taking off in the last couple of days, but while the majority of them were here, basically the entire county was coming together, pouring in donations of water, of non-perishable food, a lot of clothes, hygiene products. baby care items like diapers and formula and all of that stuff. So while this has been, one of the most devastating natural disasters to hit Texas, in the country's history, it has also been amazing to see everyone coming together, helping out these people who, have nothing at the. So it's been really great to see everyone, come together.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join us, Kathleen.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
While Texas is still cleaning up from their big storm, Florida is preparing for a storm of their own. Hurricane Irma, now a Category 5 storm, is barreling up the Caribbean. There have been no Florida evacuations offered yet, but the forecasts show that the storm is expected to reach the state on Sunday. Florida Governor Rick Scott says that Hurricane Irma is bigger than Hurricane Andrew, which devastated the state 25 years ago. Irma has recorded winds of 185 miles an hour, making it one of the most powerful storms ever recorded in the Atlantic. Coming up, the Vermilion McDonald's is finishing up a renovation. Find out more after the break.
This is Coyote News.
Welcome back. We have an update from a story aired on our Facebook page last week. Jubal Grant is back in the Charles Mix jail after escaping last Wednesday. Grant assaulted a correctional officer and stole a car while fleeing the jail. Law enforcement located Grant at a Vermilion residence Thursday afternoon. A 7-hour standoff ended when Grant surrendered at about 8:30.
He agreed to surrender if he could talk to his mom and have some McDonald's.
Grant has felony charges that include first-degree escape, simple assault on a corrections officer, burglary, and a grand theft. He appeared in court yesterday.
If you haven't been to McDonald's since spring, you may be in for a surprise. After a summer filled with renovation, the Vermilion McDonald's has opened its lobby once again to the public.
What kind of new renovations? Well, our lobby's brand new. All new seating. I believe we're going to be able to seat more folks. Actually, we are going to be able. It's going to be a little bit more retro. The whole outside has been refaced with a more contemporary look. No more red and yellow. They're kind of getting away from that.
Along with the new interior and exterior, the most noticeable changes students will see is the new kiosk located in the center of the lobby. Instead of ordering at a register, customers can use it to enter in their order themselves.
I think it's going to be more efficient. It's going to cut down on lines because realistically it'll be like having 4 more registers in the restaurant. I'd like to think that it was in pretty good shape when they did the renovations, but they chose to put the money in it because they value the university in Vermilion and they want to make this a place where students and the community can come.
McDonald's is expected to finish the renovations later this month.
A USD sorority is building a new house. The Yote Report's Whitney Fowkes talks with the president about the big change.
A few weeks ago, Alpha Xi Delta demolished their home to start a new chapter for their sisterhood. Alpha Xi Delta at the University of South Dakota was installed here on June 15, 1903. The sorority has plans set in place to build a new house. Ashley Miners is the chapter president and tells us their expectations.
So the new house is similar in size. It's housing 59 people. There is a grand staircase upon entrance, which is a new design, I guess, to our house, as well as the big columns.
As the construction proceeds, the sorority is living in a temporary home.
Our current house holds 14 sisters and then our house mom, so it's only 7 bedrooms, and it's significantly smaller, but still a very large scale, like family home in terms of Vermilion.
The new house will provide the ladies more space and a more sound structure. To attain this money, Alpha Zeta Delta fundraised.
In terms of fundraising and moving, our alumni have been a big help.
The sorority used a silent campaign by reaching out to alumna to raise the funds.
So in our new house, our rooms are sized differently to better accommodate for like the amount of stuff.
Their new house will hold 59 girls, 10 more than their previous home, and the girls are expecting to move in August of 2018. For Coyote News, I'm Whitney Fowkes.
Thanks, Whitney. With the start of the fall semester, many job opportunities have become available for students around campus. Students looking to take federal work-study opportunities have gone to places like the ID Weeks Library, Barnes & Noble, and the Wellness Center, which offer pay and time of study. Many seeking more part-time work-study are applying at locations around the MUC, such as Chick-fil-A, Qdoba, Einstein's, the U-Brew, or residential dining, which offer flexible shifts and more available hours. Visit airmark.com/careers or the USD website for more information about job opportunities on campus.
Still to come, the Charlottesville discussion has come to USD. Tell you more about the MUC talks when we come back.
Hey Madeline, why don't you explain what improv is?
Well, improv is just kind of thinking on your feet and creating a scene out of nothing. Our first goal is we accept anyone and everyone.
Our second goal is that we focus on improvement.
And also our third goal is we just want to bring comedy back to campus.
We like making people laugh. And that's one of the reasons why we think you should come to Improv Club, for laughs.
This is Coyote News.
Following the riots in Charlottesville, the Center for Diversity and Student Rights and Responsibilities have teamed up to host a campus-wide conversation. An event is being held in the MUC right now to talk about the issues that surround the acts in Charlottesville and around the country. The event has expert voices from law, health sciences, political science, history, and Native American studies. Coyote News' Rachel Newville is joining us live in the MUC with the Associate Vice President for Diversity, Lamont Sellers. Rachel?
Thanks, Nathan. So, Lamont, could you tell me a little bit more about the attendance that came out for this event today and some of the topics that were covered?
Certainly. We had about 100 people that actually showed up for the event. It turned out very well. We covered topics that talked about white supremacy, the history of our nation, talked about the political structures and institutions that go into white supremacy and these notions of hate. We also had a chance to talk some about education and next steps.
Great. So with that conversation, I know there's been some rumored students talking about different hate speech that's been posted on campus, specifically in the dorms. Was that brought up at all or talked about?
No, that didn't come up in the conversation, unfortunately, but it nonetheless is an important thing to talk about. Yes, while we do have free speech, all free speech isn't good speech. So we do have to be mindful of that and the community that we live in and making sure that people feel safe and comfortable living here at USD.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Live in the MUC, I'm Rachel Newville.
Thanks, Rachel. Two USD faculty members from the Department of Occupational Therapy received prestigious national certificates. Shauna Suri and Whitney Lucas Molitor's certifications came from the American Occupational Therapy Association. Cerny, who's been teaching at USD since 2012, received board certification in pediatrics. Molitor, who's been teaching at USD since 2015, received board certification in geriatrics. Cerny and Molitor are the only occupational therapists in the state to hold board certifications in their areas of expertise. Well, Devin, the USD football team looked really good this weekend.
They sure did. We have highlights. We can't show them all to you because that would take up the whole newscast, but we will show some highlights, and we'll talk to a cross-country runner about their weekend. That and more is next in sports.
The Coyote Twin Theaters in downtown Vermilion, providing entertainment Tuesdays through Sundays. A proud supporter of USD student media.
This is Coyote News.
Tonight on Coyote Sports, USD football opens the season with a big win, and we have a story on the Vermilion High School football team. But first, the headlines with Devin Martin. Devin?
Thanks, Devin. The NFL season kicks off tomorrow night for when the defending Super Bowl champions, the New England Patriots, host the Kansas City Chiefs. Also, the game between the Miami Dolphins and Tampa Bay Buccaneers, scheduled for Sunday in Miami, won't be played due to the threat of Hurricane Irma. Instead, the game will be played Week 11 when both teams were scheduled to have a bye week. Cowboy star and running back Ezekiel Elliott will play Sunday against the Giants. But the rest of the season, it remains in question. A U.S. District Court judge will rule Friday whether to uphold a temporary restraining order to prevent the 6-game suspension that was upheld by arbitrator Harold Henderson Tuesday night. And MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred confirmed Tuesday that the Boston Red Sox used electronic communication from the dugout to steal opponents' signs and relay them to the Red Sox players during games. Baseball's investigation is ongoing, but Manfred says he expects it to be completed by the end of the season. And those are your headlines. Back to you, Devin.
Thanks, Devin. USD football is finally back, and expectations are high for the Coyotes in year 2 under head coach Bob Nielsen. The Yotes wanted to get off to a fast start against Drake, and they did just that. Opening drive of the game, Chris Strevler tosses a beauty just over the defender's arms to Shamar Jackson for the 30-yard TD, and the Yotes lead 7-0. Later in the first quarter, Strevler throwing again. This time he hits Brett Van Roekel, who spins off a defender and just barely gets into the end zone to extend the lead to 21-0. Still in the first quarter, Strevler tosses a perfect back shoulder fade to Cody Case for a 23-yard score, and USD opens up a 28-point lead. Strevler and company were far from done. This might be the play of the year already. Strevler rainbows this one for Alondre Brooks, who catches it with his knees. And an unbelievable catch, and the Yotes lead 42-7. Next Drake possession, it was the defense's turn. Philip Powell intercepts this Grant Kramer pass, and he has reservations for 6. USD takes a 56-7 lead into halftime, and they would win this one going away 77-7. Chris Strevler finishes with 5 TD passes and added another one on the ground. The Coyotes look to upset FBS opponent Bowling Green Saturday night. The Coyotes aren't the only football team in town. The Vermilion Tanagers 2017 season is underway, and they're hoping all of the hard work over the offseason turns into results on the field. The Vermilion Tanagers haven't won a state championship since 1999. Head coach Andy Holman says changing the program's culture is the first step to becoming contenders again, and it starts with the team's motto, be the change.
We're tired of everybody kind of just sometimes saying, oh, it's Vermilion. Nobody puts us down as the team to beat. And we were tired of that, and there's been times where we've got done with practice a little bit early, and I ask if they want to keep going. They're like, yeah, let's keep going, let's keep going. So that right there is just kind of our attitude. We want to be the change and change the culture of what we've been doing.
Senior leadership is a big part of the Tanagers' identity, and senior Luke Gerard says building team camaraderie starts off the field.
Us getting in the weight room, becoming like a team bond. Like, we do a lot of things outside of like our school and like lifting that helps us come together as one.
Senior running back Brett Culver says having confidence and believing they belong will go a long way toward contending for a title this season.
We need to keep working hard. We need to get in our minds that we can compete with these teams and that we're at their level, and just keep working hard on the field.
The Tanagers have a long season ahead of them, but Coach Holman knows they can step up to the challenge.
This next stretch here of 5 games is going to be tough for us, but the guys realize that, and they know to put ourselves into a position for playoffs. We got to get a few of these. We know that each game is going to be hard, but they're going to be ready to go each game.
The Tanagers lost to Del Rapids 27-7 Friday night. They play at Tri-Valley this Friday night at 7. The South Dakota soccer team defeated North Dakota 1-0 Sunday in Grand Forks. The Coyotes had a season-high 10 shots on goal. This was the second consecutive win for the Yotes, who are 2-4 on the season. USD travels to take on Colorado College and Air Force this weekend. On Friday night, the cross-country team took the team title in Augustana Twilight for the 3rd time in 4 years. Coyote News' Lauren Solik is live in the muck with junior Megan Billington, who finished runner-up individually. Lauren?
Thanks, Devin. So Megan, why was taking the title on Friday such a big accomplishment for your team?
This meet is just really fun to start the season off. So it was just like our first season, or our first meet all together. So just to win was really fun as a team.
And how is that win helping you prepare for the rest of the season?
It's just, like I said just now, it's like one to just like ease into the season with. So like that just really gets things rolling for the rest of the season, and we just want to keep building from there.
So do you have any team or personal goals for the rest of the season?
For the team, we just want to continue to keep getting better every week and just keep working harder and harder in the workouts and the runs that we have every week, and just try and win our 4th conference championship. So,
thanks, Megan.
Yep.
On September 16th, the women's cross-country team will head to Lincoln, Nebraska for the Woody Greeno Invitational. Live from the muck for Coyote News, I'm Lauren Solik.
Thanks, Lauren. USD had a number of athletes bring home weekly honors. In football, quarterback Chris Strevler was named the Missouri Valley Football Conference Offensive Player of the Week. Freshman punter Brady Schutt was named the Conference Special Teams Player of the Week. In soccer, sophomore Taryn Labrie was named the Summit League Offensive Player of the Week, and junior keeper Coral Suarez was named Defensive Player of the Week. That's a look at sports. Coming up after the break, we asked students the most annoying thing they've had to deal with so far this school year. Their answers are next.
It's pretty annoying.
Hey Madeline, why don't you explain what improv is?
Well, improv is just kind of thinking on your feet and creating a scene out of nothing. Our first goal is we accept anyone and everyone.
Our second goal is that we focus on improvement.
And also our third goal is we just want to bring comedy back to campus.
We like making people laugh. And that's one of the reasons why we think you should come to Improv Club, for laughs.
This is Coyote News.
In this week's Out and About, we asked students what's been the most annoying thing about being back on campus. Here's what they had to say.
Probably the weather.
Having cold showers.
Well, my car stopped working, so that's kind of been annoying.
I'll probably just listen to all the kids complain about how they have to pay for college and stuff, and there's other ways to get around it, like the Marine Corps.
The girl next to me blaring her music past quiet hours.
In the military, and you get it for free, like I do.
I'm running out of muck swipes. It's pretty annoying. I'm actually very close to being done with them.
I've overslept multiple times. Everyone coming in at 2 o'clock in the morning screaming.
Having all the new students pressing the button to cross Cherry Street.
The light crossing the street.
Just, you get more mad at yourself, if anything else.
Probably spilling water on my books.
I need to get my stuff together. Like, this is like, I'm not doing so great.
The Volante is officially a finalist for the 2017 Pacemaker Award, one of collegiate journalism's highest honor. Head on over to their website to see this semester's stories. And that's all for Coyote News. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
And be sure to listen to KYOT and KAOR daily updates throughout the week.
Thank you, and have a great night.